Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MVP webinar. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to the Houston Minority Supplier Development Council for sponsoring today's webinar and giving us an opportunity to present to you today. My name is Tiffany, and I am the brand manager and lead consultant for Twice Media Productions. And I'm going to be discussing mobile video and photography, as well as a few other topics that pertain to mobile media. So the first thing I want to discuss is why your business can't ignore mobile marketing, how important visual content marketing is in your mobile marketing strategy, what mobile channels you can use to disseminate your content, and then how you can create your own visual content using various apps and tools. Lastly, I'll discuss some of the steps that you can take today to get started to improve your mobile marketing efforts. And the primary focus of today's webinar obviously is the mobile video and photo component. So that's why I have it in bold here. But I think it's important for us also to understand why mobile marketing is so important, and then look at visual content marketing as one of the key types of marketing that you can use in your mobile marketing strategy. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and start the webinar here. I like to kick things off with this photo of this toddler with this mobile tablet, because I think it's very telling of where we are today as well as where we're headed. Because technology is all around us, and these millennials or Generation X and Y are pretty much the digital natives, meaning they were born into this world of technology that's new to a lot of us. So you want to be, as a small business owner, able to market to them and reach them where they are. And even if you are, I don't know, a CPA, or your business markets to retirees or what have you, and you think, well, this is not my demographic, I want you to understand that you still need to take technology into consideration, because a lot of us as small business owners go into business hoping that we'll create something long term. So something that we can pass down to our children and our children's children and so on. So if that is the case and you are successful in doing that, then eventually these digital natives will be your target market. So again, you want to be able to meet them where they are. And just think how much technology has progressed in the last few years, where it will actually be when these digital natives are your target market. And it's actually a little scary to think about, but I mean, that's where we're headed. And so, again, I think this photo is just really telling about where we are and especially where we're headed, and puts today's webinar into perspective and kind of shows you the bigger picture. So for those of you who love statistics, I've got a few of them here for you. I'm not going to spend too much time on them because a simple Google search will bring all of this up, but I think it's important to note some of these numbers here. So the first one is people look at their smartphones 200 times a day. And that seems like a really big, excessive number, but it's not that far-fetched, because when you think about it, you're checking your mobile device for emails, and sometimes you have a personal email as well as a work email. You're shopping, you're banking, you're surfing the web, you're engaged on social media. I mean, there are just a plethora of things for you to do online on your mobile device. And so people are checking their phones multiple times a day. 75% of people use their phones to get real-time location-based information. Now, this one is important because most times when people are using their mobile device, they're looking for something that's nearby. So if you're on vacation, or even if you're at home, you're looking for a place to eat, or you're looking for something to do. and you want something that's near where you are at that moment. So again, as a marketer, you want to make sure that when that consumer pulls up their phone and is looking for a product or service that you offer, you want to make sure that your business is one that comes up so that you have some sort of mobile presence, because obviously the businesses that have some sort of mobile presence are the ones who those consumers are going to purchase from. So 90% of mobile searches lead to an action. Again, that goes back to that whole location-based stat that I just mentioned, where people are usually on their mobile device ready to make a purchase at that moment. And then lastly here, I think it's important to mention that 50% of email is opened on mobile devices. So half the time that people are checking those personal and those professional emails, they're doing so on their mobile devices. So again, you want to have some sort of mobile presence because that's where people are. And I mean, think about it. These are personal devices, something that you have with you all day long. Even if you're not included in that number of people that are checking their phones 200 times a day, chances are you still have it near you throughout the day. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, that mobile phone or that mobile tablet are somewhere near you. So who's using mobile marketing? Well, pretty much all businesses to some extent are using mobile marketing. Major corporations to mid and small size businesses, and even a large number of nonprofits. And so I thought it was important to put up here the construction mobile apps because there are several construction mobile apps available out there. And so don't think that just because you're in a particular space that this type of marketing doesn't apply to your business, because you can reach people everywhere. Again, I said these are personal devices, things that people have with them all day long. So no matter what your industry is, you still have to take that into consideration when you're trying to get your products and services in front of them. And I also wanted to mention, again, going back to that construction example, you could do a number of things, as well as if you're in real estate, you can have a mobile app. You can, if you're a yoga instructor, you can have a mobile app. So those are things to take into consideration. And here we go. I love this quote by Karen McGrain, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. And she says, "You don't get to decide which device people use to access your content. They do." And that's so true. Again, even if you're not in that number of people that are checking their phones 200 times a day, it doesn't matter because there are a high number of people that are. So you want to ensure that those people that are checking it that often, and even more often than that, are seeing your products or services when they do so. So now that we've talked about why mobile marketing is so important, I want to shift now to visual content marketing. And this is, of course, the content that you create. And I want to specifically focus on the visual aspect of the content that you create, because I think it's one of the most important in terms of where we are right now. So I found this great quote, or excuse me, this great definition by CoSchedule.com that says visual content marketing is about telling your story in an emotional and engaging way. And I think that this is so true because any type of marketing that you do, essentially, you're trying to tell your story. Whether you are showcasing your employees, your facility, your achievements, your products and services, in some way you are telling a story. You're showing people who you are and what your business is all about, and of course, why they should purchase from your business. And consumers want to see who you are. They want to know who they're doing business with. They want to be able to trust you so that they can ensure that their money is being well spent and going somewhere where they're going to get something that's going to help them. So I thought it was very important to put some of these numbers here. So 1.4 billion images are taken on mobile devices per day. 1.4 billion images. That's a pretty massive number when you think about how many people are actually uploading and taking and disseminating photographs or images in general. And so that, again, it's a pretty big number. So it shows you how important visual content is. And YouTube came out and said that 100 hours of video are uploaded to their site per minute. That's a lot of video. So that's a lot of visual content in itself. So if you see how much people are, again, uploading and disseminating and taking with their mobile devices and otherwise, that'll show you that, I mean, this is pretty big. So what is visual content? Well, of course, I just talked about videos and photos, but there are also infographics, and it's exactly what the name implies. It's a graphic that has information on it. So if you are in the construction space and you wanted to do a top 5 safety moments or safety tips for people, or you are a real estate agent and you wanted to do top 5 or top 10 home buyer things to know, or you're a CPA or I mean a yoga instructor, whatever, something that you can just take some information that you feel will help your clients and potential clients. You can put it, take a few quick points, put some graphics with it, have it, look nice, and I mean, you could definitely create something like this, and it's going to be more widely shared because it's quick, to the point, and it's aesthetically pleasing to look at. Memes are another popular form of visual content. They're a little controversial because, and you do have to watch out for things like copyright, but essentially all it is words over text communication. So, or excuse me, it's just words, text over a photograph, and it's normally a very popular photograph that's already been widely shared, and people from all over can use this same image and put whatever words they want on top of it. So they're very recognizable by a lot of people, and we don't use them here at Twice Media, namely because we create images ourselves. And again, you have to watch out and be careful with copyright. But I know several businesses that do, and they are very popular and very recognizable. So, it is an option. Comics are also a form of visual content, and it's exactly the type of comics that you're probably thinking about, the ones that you see in the Sunday paper every week. The example that I have here just happens to be a photograph in a comic, but I mean, it's the traditional comic that you're thinking of. So you have several options available to you. And it looks like we have a question here about infographics. And the question asks, where can infographics, is there a type of software that will create these infographics for you? And there absolutely is or are several infographic generating sites. And unfortunately, I don't have any of them in front of me right now. I know we used to use one here at my company, but honestly, I don't remember, so I will find that out. But any graphic designer, if you do have someone that already creates your visual, like flyers, event flyers, or anything like that, then they could put something like this together for you as well. But I will definitely get back to you with an answer about some sites, especially the one that we used to use here. Thank you for your question. So I'm a little biased when it comes to video, namely because I do own a video marketing company, but video, out of all of the visual content or types of content that I just mentioned, I think video is one of the most powerful ones. And one of the reasons is it's faster and simpler to comprehend. When you think about why movies are so much shorter than books oftentimes, it's because people can get the information through video and comprehend it a lot faster than they can from text communication, because they're seeing it happen out. It's more self-explanatory. It's more shareable. People are more likely to share visual content, videos especially. It has global reach in minutes. And I mean, this is pretty much true for any type of anything you put on the web. I mean, because you are connected and you have that global reach instantly. So that's pretty much true across the board. It could go viral. And viral is just a buzzword for something that can be shared or that is shared widely and rapidly. And you want that for your content because it will help you with increased visibility and hopefully will lead to more people purchasing your product or service, which is really what all of us want here. It can complement text communication. So I want to make it very clear that I'm not bashing text communication. I'm not suggesting that you don't create any text content, because believe it or not, in 2015, there are people who still enjoy reading. I know it's crazy to think about, but it's very true. There are people who still like to read. So you want to have something for both audiences. For that person who's on the go, needs something really quick, wants to watch that short video, and for someone who has a little more time to sit down and read. Or I mean, you want to appeal to both of those. So here at Twice Media, we do a video blog every week, and it is accompanied by a text blog as well, because we understand that there are some people who are going to want to get that video and watch it, and there are some people that are going to want to read what it's about. So we have both. And it's not industry specific. I mentioned a few industries a moment ago: construction, real estate, and you can, no matter what industry you're in, video can help your business, because again, it will show people a little bit more about who you are and why they should trust you and purchase products or services from you. And if you are in the construction business, you can chronicle the progression of the projects that you work on, the before and after. If you're in the real estate, you can do virtual tours of the properties that you're trying to sell. If you're a yoga instructor, you can do a video with different positions that people should try. Or if you are a CPA, you could do videos with different tax tips or bookkeeping tips. So the possibilities are endless. You can definitely show inside your facility who your employees are, just more about who you are and who your consumers will potentially be doing business with. So mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is channel. So mobile marketing channels. There are a number of channels out there that you can use to disseminate the content that you create. So now that we've talked about why mobile marketing is important and why you should create visual content, now I want to shift to the type of channels that you have available to you. So your website is one, and you want to ensure that your website is mobile compatible. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that means in just a moment. But essentially, you want to have a site that will look nice on a desktop version and will also look nice on the mobile devices where people are consuming the content. So you just want to have both there. With social media, you also have a lot of options because there are several different channels. And the great thing is they're free, and they have mobile compatible sites that are already done. So you don't even have to worry about it. So no matter what type of device someone picks up to go to your social media page, it'll already adjust to the screen size that they're viewing it on. And I mean, you have your Facebook and your Twitter and your Instagram and your LinkedIn and Google Plus, and there's no need for you to be on all of these channels. But I would suggest you get on one or two of them, because you want to have some social media presence, because again, it's free and you can reach more consumers that way. Email is another big one. It's important because, um, especially if you use a uh, email marketing software such as Constant Contact, where it too will do the conversion for you, depending on what type of screen somebody's viewing your content on, or opening your email on. And so you wanna tap into that as well, because 50% of people, as I said, are checking their emails on mobile devices. So it's important for you to have some sort of presence that way. Apps are great because you can create an app for your company, or you can advertise on existing apps. So you have some options there. Text messaging is another way to reach people on their mobile devices. You can send them a text communication about your products or services or specials that you have going on. You don't have to use all of these. These are just some of the channels that are available to you. At Twice Media, we use we have a mobile compatible website. We use several social media channels, and we use Constant Contact for our email marketing campaign. I mentioned the video blog that we send out each week. That goes out via our email marketing campaign. So we don't use apps or text messaging. Not to say that we won't use them in the future. We just don't use them right now, because we found success with the first three that I mentioned there. So it's really just important to determine which channels are going to be right for your business, and which ones are going to reach your specific target market. So mobile compatibility. Make sure your content is compatible on multiple devices. And with your website, you have a few options. So when you go to your web developer, you can have them create a separate desktop version of your website, as well as a mobile version of your website. So there will be two different ones that people can access. You also have the option of having them create a responsive website for you. And that means that it will automatically convert no matter what type of device someone is viewing your website on. We use a mobile responsive website here at my company, but it's really just up to you in terms of which one you want to use. There are also several apps and websites that will test compatibility for you. So Google is the one that I've used. There are several others. I didn't include them here because I don't have experience with them. But I mean, there are many out there. And this morning I literally went to the into Google and typed in my company's URL, twicemediaproductions.com, and ran the little test. And within a few moments, it told me that, yay, your website is mobile friendly. So now that I know that my website is compatible. And so even if you have someone create your website for you, you want to also just go and do that quick test yourself. It doesn't cost you anything. It only takes a few seconds, so that you can ensure that it is in fact compatible on mobile devices. Now, email marketing is one of the channels that I mentioned, and I want to spend a little time on this one specifically because I think it's one of the most important. 73% of marketers agree that email marketing is core to their business. It still dominates in terms of marketing today. And again, people have several email accounts most often, and they're checking their mobile devices several times. So you want to have some sort of presence there. It instantly connects you to people. It helps you understand your audience responses. So if you were to use a software such as Constant Contact, then you can send out surveys, and people can provide feedback so you can understand how to improve your products or services. And it also keeps you top of mind. Even if you are sending out multiple communications through email and people aren't opening them, that doesn't mean that they don't see them come to their inbox. And so when they think of your product or service, you want to be top of mind. And email does that because they're seeing your company's name every week or however often you decide to send out communications that way. I mentioned we send out a weekly blog. So once a week, same time, same day, we're sending out information. And so people kind of register our name to say, hey, okay, Twice Media Productions, and you want them to do that for your business as well. And you have several options, especially if you go with an email marketing company or software such as Constant Contact, because you can send out e-newsletters like I mentioned, but you could also send out promotions and sales. So if you have specials on different products, then you can send that information out. If you have an event or you're sponsoring an event, you can send out communications about that and have people actually register right there from your email. And again, you can send out surveys to get feedback so you can continuously improve your products and services and meet the needs of your clients. So going back to that compatibility issue, 80% of users will delete mobile email that doesn't look good. If your email is not compatible with mobile devices, then people are going to click off of it because it's hard to read, it's either too big or too small, and you don't want that. So Constant Contact, let's see, we have another question here. What software was I referencing for the email marketing? And that was Constant Contact. So great question to segue into these top tips that Constant Contact actually recommends. Things to avoid when you're using an email marketing campaign for mobile, and that is avoid using too much text. Even though we still have people out there that like to read, you have to understand that these mobile devices that a lot of people are consuming information on are much smaller than the laptop or desktop. So you want to have something that's not hard to read, that's easy for them to grasp, because if they are on their mobile devices, more than likely they're checking it on the go and they want to get it quickly and get on to something else that they have. Avoid multiple columns. Again, this goes back to that compatibility issue. On the desktop version, it may look great, but on the on the mobile device, it just doesn't translate as well, and it could just it just might not come out looking right, and you don't want to have that. You want to have clear and easy calls to action, and a call to action is simply something that asks someone to do something. So that's when you see the click here or register today or read more. You're asking that person to do something. So now it becomes interactive and they're clicking on something, they're doing something. That's essentially what you want them to do. So of course you want your link or your button with your call to action to be visible and easy to find so that they're more inclined to click it. Avoid tiny fonts. Again, these are small screens, so Constant Contact recommends a 22-point font headline and a 16-point font for your body text. And lastly, they just recommend using images wisely, and it's a compatibility thing. So your image is coming out too small, too large, or not showing up at all. And Constant Contact has a great feature that allows you to test out your email campaign before it goes live. So we always, each week, even though it's pretty much the same standard template, we go in and I send out the text ones to our copy editor and our marketing manager as well as myself, and we all go through and edit and click the links and make sure they're all working properly and going to the right sites that we or want to direct people to. And so it just, you just want to make sure that you are looking out for stuff like that and make adjustments accordingly. All right, now storytelling, I think now that you've gotten why mobile marketing is important, how you can create, or excuse me, why visual content specifically is what you should focus on, and why mobile marketing is, or excuse me, how the mobile marketing channels that are available out there for you to disseminate that content. Now we can move on into creating your own content. So I think it's important before we talk about creating content that we focus for just a moment on storytelling, taking it back to the basics. Like I said, all marketing is about telling your story so that people can relate to you and people can get to know you and trust who you are, so that they'll in turn want to do business with you. So making sure that your story has a beginning, middle, and end, and a who, what, when, where, why do I care as a consumer. So making sure you answer those questions in whatever type of communication you create. So storytelling, I found this great definition on storynet.org, and it says storytelling is the interactive art of using words and actions to reveal the elements and images of a story while encouraging the listener's imagination. And I think that's exactly right. You definitely are engaging people and letting them see more about who you are. So some of the apps that I've picked out here are mostly for creating and disseminating visual content. This by far is not the only marketing apps out there. I mean, there are several, way more than I could talk about today. But these are just quick ones that will again help you create better visual content, and will also help you disseminate that content. So the first one I want to talk about is VSCO Cam, and this is a photo shooting and editing app. And it does a lot of things that we do on a professional side in terms of editing and shooting. So you have a little bit more control over how the image comes out on your mobile device. And this is completely free. And it does things like help you separate exposure and focus rings. You can lock your white balance, and I'm going to show you an example of, and also a little quick demo of how it works for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about when I say things like exposure and focus. But it does have those sophisticated editing features there available for you that will just help you improve the quality of the images that you shoot. And it also will allow you to export your photos directly to your camera roll so that you can post them later, so directly to your phone. Or you can export them directly to your Instagram or your Twitter page or your Facebook, so your social media accounts. So it's great in that regard. Again, basic photo editing tools like exposure, cropping, rotating, and it's available for iPhone and Android devices. Now, again, I'm going to play this quick video that just kind of walks into the app and shows you a little bit about how it works. So as you can see here, we have a photo. It's kind of dark. So if I go to my exposure, I can lighten up the photo a little bit. If I want to adjust the contrast, I can do that. I can also go to the saturation, bring out some of the vibrance of those colors. I can go to my temperature and adjust how cool or warm the image is, so how blue or more yellow or reddish it is. And from there, I can export it directly, again, to either save it on my phone or send it directly to one of my social media sites. So it's pretty easy to use and can make a significant difference. So here The first photo that you see we have was shot with an iPhone 5S, the native camera on that phone. And it's very dark and dingy and doesn't look like something I would want to post on my social media. But it was taken inside of our studio. And the second photo here is of the same image that I pulled into VSCO Cam and did some of those same features that I just showed you. I adjusted the exposure, the saturation, and different things like that. And this is the final image. So you can see there's a significant difference in the quality of the image. And obviously, you would want to post the second one as opposed to posting the first one to market your business. So now on to video editing. Or excuse me, video shooting. Video Pro Camera is an app. It's not free. It costs $4.99, and unfortunately, this one is only available for iPhone. And I do want to make mention of the fact that some of the apps that I'm going to talk about today are iPhone only. And it's not that I have anything against Android. It's just from a teaching standpoint, I found that it's easier when everyone has the same operating system. And with Androids, a lot of times, some of the different phones won't support the same apps. So with an iPhone and an iPad, whatever app I talk about, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work on across the board on that operating system. You have to watch out for things like different generations of the phones and software updates and things like that. But for the most part, the apps are going to work. So some of these apps, like I said, are iPhone only, but there are Android apps out there that are compatible. I just haven't had experience with them, so that's why I didn't mention them here. But Video Pro Camera is a video shooting app. So you can listen to your sound while you're recording, so monitoring your audio. You can control your zoom during shooting. So pretty much this is similar to the VSCO Cam app for photos on the editing side, or excuse me, on the shooting side, how it just gives you a little bit more control over the images that you shoot. You can control your focus and exposure and white balance, and you can monitor the time that's elapsed as well as the space and battery life that are remaining on your phone while you're shooting. And again, this is available for iPhone only. So here we have the first photo is, I believe, was taken with an iPhone 4. Literally just pulled up the app and didn't do anything, just pulled up the app, and that's that first image. And then this image here is of the app once we went in and controlled and locked our white balance or excuse me, adjusted our exposure and our focus and our white balance and things like that. So it's a considerable difference, as you can see again, in terms of the vibrance and the type of image that comes out. So iMovie is another app. This is a video editing app. So VSCO Cam was for photo shooting and editing. Video Pro Camera is for video shooting, and iMovie is for video editing. So this is a great app because after you shot your video in VSCO, or excuse me, after you shot your video in Video Pro Camera or just on your phone's native camera, then you can pull it into iMovie and edit it. And you can do things like trim it down, cut it. You can add wording and typography, different effects. You can throw some music on there. So just make it look a little bit more professional. And you can share your videos instantly. So you have the option of saving them for later, or you can post them directly to your social media sites such as Instagram or Facebook. and it is available for iPhone only. And stepping just inside the app here, you see some of the photos. You can go and create your project, and then you have your timeline here, which is where you'll do your editing, your cutting, and your splicing and things like that. And you can just pull videos directly from your phone that are already saved on there, or you can shoot from the app. And you see I just went and grabbed an image, or a video clip rather, pulled it down to my timeline, and then as you can see at the photo, the fourth photo here, you have option to cut. You can add some text. You can adjust the look of it, so you have some options there, adding music and different things like that. So really basic app, but great for creating and editing your own videos. And I just briefly want to show you a video that was shot by some students that I help teach in Nashville each year. And some of them had experience with mobile video and some of them hadn't. And this was exclusively shot on mobile devices. And I just want to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to step out for a second and pull up the video here.
We're here at Hometown Pets in Franklin, and we're doing an adoption event to see if we can get some local people to come check out our dogs and find out a little bit more about our facility. The partnership between Hometown Pets and Williams County Animal Center began with a phone call. Hometown Pets is actually run by Tractor Supply, so it was one of their contacts that called us and asked if we wanted to get involved, and we were happy to be here.
Seeing the right cat go to the right home and following up, I like for people to contact me to share photographs and updates, and so really that's my favorite part, is knowing that these precious babies that I work with end up in a loving home and in a forever home.
This is Tabitha. She's a 1-year-old American Bulldog Golden Retriever mix. She's very sweet. We really haven't had her at the shelter that long. She was a stray that somebody picked up and brought to us, and nobody ever claimed her, so right now we're just trying to find her a good home. Every time somebody brings a dog in, we scan them, see if they have a microchip, if there's any tags on them. We do as best as we can to find their owners, but sometimes we just can't connect, and so she's now available for adoption, so we can try to find her another home. It's a really great experience to see the dogs go home when they finally found their people.
All right, so as you see, that video was shot exclusively and edited on a mobile device. And I mean, you could not tell the difference, that was not a professionally produced video. I mean, these are students. Like I said, some of them had experience and some of them had them. Did not have it, but you know, no Emmy award winners here, but you know, I just want to make the point that you can create content that does look better than what you normally see on a mobile device. So all right, so Instagram is a social sharing app. The reason I chose Instagram instead of talking about Facebook or LinkedIn is because with Instagram, it's exclusive to photos and videos. So you can definitely share videos and photos on LinkedIn and Facebook, but on Instagram, you can actually you can shoot the photos and videos as well as share the photos and videos. And of course, because we're talking about visual content, I thought it was important to include this one. So you can shoot videos lasting up to 15 seconds, and that doesn't sound like a lot of time, and it's really not, but it is enough time for you to say a few quick things about your business. And several major corporations and small businesses are getting very creative with the 15-second videos that they produce. So it is an option that you have there. It offers several filters and effects so that you can edit, and it has effects similar to VSEO Cam. So some of the professional editing apps and sophisticated editing tools, rather, are available on Instagram as well. So that's another reason why I included it here. And it is available on iPhone and Android. And it's completely free. Now, I'm not going to play these videos, but these are Instagram videos, 15-second clips from our Instagram page. And I just, after a video shoot or what have you, meeting with a client, I just asked a few of them to say a few quick words about why they liked working with Twice Media. And I wanted it to look like it was shot on a cell phone because I wanted it to appear as if this was, just this was natural, not staged. These aren't paid actors. We didn't set up a big full production. This is literally just on the spot. How do you feel about Twice Media? And they were more than happy to do it for us. And we were able to post that to our social media accounts and just show people why they should choose us for their video marketing needs. And it's something that you could do as well. Now, Buffer is a free app, and they do have a paid version as well. But the free one gives you a lot of options, and this is an automation tool, so it will automate your social media post for various social media accounts at once. So for those of you who absolutely cringe at the term social media when I say it, because you have a job and a life and you don't want to spend all day posting to social media, there is help out there. I just want to let you know there is help available, and it is Buffer, and it will schedule the posts for you. So literally, you could take one day a week, sit down for an hour or two, and schedule all the posts that you want for that entire week or that entire month. And Buffer will pick the days and times for you automatically, or you can go in and tell it what days and times that you want something to post. And it will do it again for multiple platforms. So if you wanted to schedule something to go out via Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn all at the same time, or at different days and different times, you could do that from this app. And it will automatically spread the post throughout the day for you, as I said, or you can do it yourself. And it is available for iPhone and Android. And this is just a screenshot inside the app. You can see we have our Facebook, our Google+, our LinkedIn, and our Twitter all attached here. And we, as I said, go in and schedule the post for each week. And it does everything for us at that point. And we use the free account. I think it will give you up to 4 accounts free. So you have obviously the option to do the paid route, which has I think you can sync multiple accounts with the paid version. But again, we've been using the free version for for years now, and it's worked out just fine. So Constant Contact is another app. It's completely free. I do want to make the distinction, though, that the app is free on mobile, but the software itself is not free. And they have packages starting as low as $20 a month. But it is important, if you do want to create any sort of email marketing campaigns for your business, you want to have a software that's going to, do that, take care of the mobile compatibility issue for you, that's going to look aesthetically pleasing, that's going to give your company a more professional look. I mentioned that we do use it here at Twice Media, and I mean it's a great tool to use. And pretty much with the app, you can do a lot of the same things that you can do with the desktop version. So you can create and schedule your custom email marketing campaigns. You can add visual content such as photos and videos. You can view detailed reports about your campaigns. So not only can you get feedback by sending out surveys and things like that, but you can also track your campaigns. So look at how many people are opening them. Look at how many people are clicking on your call to action buttons and links. So you can find out, okay, well, each week we're sending this out and we get a lot of clicks on this particular link, but we aren't getting any on this other link. So maybe you need to redirect your efforts to the links and the buttons that are getting more action than the ones that aren't. So it has that feature as well, and you can do that from your mobile device. And you can manage on the go. Again, a lot of us are very busy, especially as small business owners. We have a lot of hats to wear, and so it just gives you that freedom to not be tied to the desk to get stuff done. So now that we've talked about some of the apps, and we're getting very short on time here, so I'm going to kind of race through some of these tools. But there are tools out there as well that you can equip your mobile devices with to shoot better videos. So MCam is a device made by Action Life Media, and it's made for the iPhone. And you can just go to their website to purchase it. But it has a lens, a professional lens on there, a microphone. It has this aluminum body that holds your cell phone. It has mounts, so you can mount multiple accessories, as well as mount it on top of a tripod so you can get more steady shots. So I mean, it will definitely help you out in terms of increasing the quality of the mobile devices that you shoot. So it's an option there. The Padcaster is another one, and you can go to thepadcaster.com. This one is made for the iPad, and it has a lot of the same tools that you can attach to it, like a professional lens. You can attach a microphone, a light, and it's made for the iPad and the iPad mini. And I mean, these tools just give you more control as you are shooting your videos and photos. And I wanted to show you a real setup. So we do use these products here at Twice Media. And I do shoot the video blog that I mentioned that we do each week. I have shot several of the episodes using these tools with mobile devices. So the first photo here at the top you see is the Padcaster Mini, and we shot one of the episodes in our studio with an iPad Mini. And then we also shot an episode with the MCam, and we used that's an iPhone 5S that's in there right now. And then you see the last photo here is with both of the cameras there set up, or both of the mobile devices set up there. So I'm just going to show you our video blog. I'm going to just show a few quick seconds of it so you can see the quality. And this particular episode was shot with a mobile device. Just going to fast forward here. Hey guys, it's Tiffany, and today I wanted to talk to you about a great product called the Padcaster Mini. And the reason I wanted to introduce this product to you was because it's a great way for you to shoot some of your own videos at home. So as you can see, it looks really high quality. I mean, if I wouldn't have told you that it was shot with a mobile device, I don't think that you would have known that it was. And this particular episode, I was doing a review on the Padcaster Mini, but we also shot the episode from the Padcaster Mini. And on the blog, I also have some episodes available that go more in depth on some of the apps and tools that I've discussed here today. So I don't obviously have time to go into a lot of them right now. I'm just doing a quick overview, but we do have resources available that tell you a little bit more information. So to sum up, don't ignore mobile marketing. It's so important. Focus on creating visual content. So videos and photos and infographics. Understand how to use email marketing because it still dominates. Make sure your website and your email campaigns are mobile compatible. And finally, take advantage of the many apps and tools that are available out there to help you improve the quality of the videos and photos that you shoot. So what can you do today? So you can go directly to the App Store if you're an iPhone or iPad user and download some of the apps that I mentioned. And if you're an Android user, you can go to the Google Play Store and download some of the apps that I mentioned. And I gave you the 2 web addresses for the 2 tools that I mentioned as well if you wanted to go purchase those. We also offer workshops here at Twice Media. And we have our mobile media must-haves workshop where we talk about different business productivity apps that will help you automate certain tasks and improve how you run your business. And then we also have our MVP workshop, which is our extended version of what you're kind of getting today. And in this workshop, it's 8 hours, and we actually go in and shoot and edit videos in the class. So we provide you the tools to do that. And at the end, we watch the videos and critique them and give feedback on how you can improve even further after the class. So we have some options there if you wanted to go more in depth and get more training. We also, if you say, hey, I don't have time to do it on my own, we have several small business video and photo packages that we could get you set up with as well and do some of it for you. And then if you wanted to get started with Constant Contact today, we could also get you set up with a Constant Contact account. You can get a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. And we could literally walk you through setting up the account and getting you started. And if you do sign up with Twice Media today, then we can get you a free email marketing template design, and that's valued at $199. So we have run out of time, so unfortunately I'm not able to answer any more questions, but as I said, a recorded version of this webinar will be available on twicemediaproductions.com tomorrow, and I will also make sure that I have a section there with all of the questions that were asked and provide all of the answers to those. And if you have more that you think about later, then please feel free to contact us at any of the channels here, and we will definitely get your questions answered. You can email us, you can call us, you can visit the website, you can connect with us on any of our social media sites, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter. I mentioned that's how we send out the video blog each week, and we discuss more apps and more tools that you can use to enhance the quality of the mobile videos and photos that you shoot and increase productivity in your business. So that's all. Thank you again for tuning in and sticking with me for an hour. I do appreciate it. And thanks again to HMSDC for the opportunity. And hopefully I'll see all you guys again real soon. Thanks.